We are outside less than a month until the start of Steelers training camp, which means that the NFL season is just around the corner. If you go outside, you can smell it in the breeze. With George Pickens getting shipped off to the Cowboys, that means that there's going to be a huge position battle taking place during camp for that number 2 receiver job. Who's going to be that guy who ends up starting on the opposite side of DK Metcalf this season? Right now, Calvin Austin is the favorite to take over that role entering camp. He was the Steelers' most explosive receiver last year in terms of being able to take the top off the defense downfield with speed. Russell Wilson and him connected on a good amount of big plays throughout the 2024 campaign. The Steelers also picked up Robert Woods in free agency, who is a veteran guy who has played over a decade in the league. But the guy that I'm picking to win this wide receiver 2 job during Steelers camp is Roman Wilson. And I'm shocked that he's received little to no buzz at all this offseason because the Steelers drafted him in the 3rd round of the 2024 draft. During his final season at Michigan, he averaged 16 yards per reception. He ran 4.39 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. And we didn't see him at all last season because of injuries. But I expect Roman Wilson to carve it up during Steelers training camp. He is just a smooth receiver, and everything that he does, from how he runs routes, how he catches the ball and doesn't lose any acceleration at all. Most receivers, when they go to catch, they have to light up on the gas a little bit. Roman Wilson, he just glides through his catches, which makes him a great yak threat as well. And why I feel he ends up taking this wide receiver 2 spot from Calvin Austin is that, one, he has a few more inches on him. Calvin Austin is around 5'8", 5'9". Roman Wilson is 5'11". This offense will be better if they put Calvin Austin in the slot, which is where his skill set is better tailored for, because if you play Calvin Austin out wide and he lines up against Nate Wiggins or Jair Alexander, it's not going to look pretty for him. You're better off letting him work in the slot, which is where his skill set is going to allow him to naturally flourish at. And you put Roman Wilson on the outside as that number 2 guy. And Roman Wilson can end up being a better receiver for the Steelers than what George Pickens was. George Pickens wasn't able to do a lot of dirty work underneath. That wasn't really part of his game. He was more of a guy that ran 2 routes, either a post or fly. You throw it up to him and he ends up winning that 50-50 matchup. Roman Wilson can work underneath, and with his quickness and speed, he's going to be a guy that Aaron Rodgers can look for in 3rd down situations as a security blanket, because he does create a lot of separations on his routes. And also, he's a better run blocker than what Calvin Austin and George Pickens were. So the Steelers offense can get a major boost if Roman Wilson ends up carving it up at training camp like I believe that he will. His skill set should help him vote well when he does a lot of those drills that you see in training camp, such as one-on-ones with the DBs, the open field tackling drills. That's really what Roman Wilson made a killing with when he was at Michigan. And the Steelers have a really good history of striking gold in day 2 of the draft with receivers. A recent example was Juju Smith-Schuster, and Aaron Rodgers kind of favors guys that create a lot of separation. Devontae Adams is one of the best separators that the league has had over the last decade. Robert Woods, he's just too old to really play a huge factor. He's going on 33. His best days are behind him. His production has rapidly diminished over the last couple of years. Roman Wilson should be that guy to be a prime breakout candidate for the Steelers to help elevate this offense, because they haven't really had a guy that you can throw a bubble screen to and he can make 1 or 2 guys miss in the open field. DK Metcalf, he has that ability, but He's not as wiggly as what Roman Wilson is, and he's not as refined running routes as what Roman Wilson is also. So I feel Roman Wilson is going to have a really big camp. He takes this number 2 spot from Calvin Austin, and I don't think it's going to take him too long to start establishing himself. We went all this offseason without really hearing anything about him. That's going to change once training camp comes around. So leave your thoughts on who you believe is going to end up being the number 2 receiver for the Steelers this year. Do you have it being Roman Wilson, Robert Woods, Calvin Austin, or maybe UDFA Rock Taylor ends up shocking us all? Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys shortly with another episode.